Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do part 4 of What If Deku Was a Saiyan. There's multiple people that asked me, well, I don't, I know that 3 times I was asked that, but if Deku was going to go meet Deku, not Deku, but Goku, Vegeta, and other people, no, he won't. Because he was born about a month before the destruction of planet Vegeta, which is basically it makes Goku 2 years older than Izuku. So Goku's 16 only. He's not even close to being an adult. Well, he is close, but still. That so because of that, he well, there's that. After that, the other problem is that for everything that leaves the other universe to get into this one, the only things that can take out stuff of this one are angels. So Whis could go in and leave, but he wouldn't bring Deku with him because, well, he doesn't know Goku Vegeta yet. Hell, really far from that, so yeah. So Goku will not meet Deku because Deku will not go to Universe 7 to meet him. Um, one of the proof that I have for that is that basically I said that the Kai, she cannot leave that universe even though the Kais can teleport using a technique called the Kai Kai. They can basically go anywhere from any of the universes to the to Zeno's palace and anything like that, but even she cannot leave that place, so only an angel can bring you out. So yeah. So okay. In the last part I said that for 3 days in the 3 weeks Deku basically went in the time chamber for all that time, and basically trained to control his Super Saiyan form. During those 3 years, he trained enough to know that there's something that he could do. Basically now, he's basically just like Goku and Gohan when they came out of that time chamber to fight Cell. He can keep the Super Saiyan transformation on an infinite amount without taking any stamina. And he knows there's something further than that, but he doesn't know how to access it. He basically just know that it's probably or another level on top, like, well, something, but for now he cannot access it. So the two people that have been chosen are Momo and Ojiro. I think that's her name. No, it's just Jiro. I'm not. Yeah, so Ojiro's the tail guy. Earphone Jack is just Jiro. So it's Momo and Jiro that are going to be training with Deku, because he knows the mind reading technique from Kami. So he basically asked them if they can keep a secret, and they told yeah. He said he wanted to try a technique on them. He basically read their mind and said, "Okay, I have a way to train for years in simple days, and we won't age, need to eat, or need to sleep." And they were interested, so he told them, sorry, hey, sorry, really sorry about that. He told them that, well, Ochako, Karashima, Ida, and Bakugo are already training like that. Well, are going to train with him. They'll have 3 years in the place for 3 days outside. And so he basically starts by taking Momo in. So for her, it takes a bit, like about a month, for her to be able to move in the time chamber correctly. Then, since she learned extremely fast, it only took her about 2 or 3 weeks to get the key correctly and be able to fly. And then she trained for 3 years with Deku and is basically as strong. Well, Endeavor is strong, and her physical strength, her speed, her endurance, and her stamina are basically like 4 or 5 times higher than him. So still lower than what All Might was in the anime by a lot margin, but she's stronger. Then they get out. Then he brings Jiro in, and about the same thing happened, except that she takes a little less time to be able to move in the time chamber, but uh, but longer to be able to use ki. So compared to Momo, that took her about 2 weeks to be able to control, 2 months after entering to be able to start flying, if we count movement, being able to move in the time chamber and stuff like that. Earphone Jack took about 2 months and a half because it was longer for her to learn ki. But in the end, their strengths are practically equal. She's a bit stronger in terms of physical strength, but Momo is capable of creating different technique with ki, which basically Deku also learned to do after that. And then he brings Ochako, he trains her. She becomes, well, she was already under endeavors in terms of strength. This time she basically skyrocketed to about 6 times what she already was for her strength. Bakugo basically got which Bakugo was already like 3 or 4 times endeavor. He basically tripled in strength. No, I said he was about half of what All Might was able to do. And I don't want Wait, no. He is now stronger than what All Might was in the anime. Basically, he gained like a 2.5 time boost because he wanted to train more on his explosions during that time and endurance, not his strength. So he did get stronger in terms of strength, but he was mostly trying to augment his stamina, explosions, and stuff like that. For Ida and Kurashima, basically, they only wanted. Kurashima basically just wanted to train his strength and his quirk. So basically, now if he goes unbreakable, well, not even unbreakable, his normal hardening is basically as strong as um, unbreakable the first time we saw it. So when he goes unbreakable, he can take a lot. So yeah, Tetsu is not going to win it at all. For each of the, well, Kirishima basically became about twice the strength of Endeavor because he was mostly trying to do his quirk for a long time, while Ida trained his speed and strength only, and he became about just under 3 times the strength of Endeavor. So yeah, Shoto's not going to be in first, second, or a place like that in the sport festival. So he is going to talk to Deku about what training he did with the others during the 3 weeks and ask him if he can train with him. But yeah. So after all of that, they go back to school. Um, they're told to get ready because well, the sports festival is there. They go change, they go wait in the thing, and basically all of them are ready to go and fly. Like Bakugo, Ojiro, and everyone else. Not Ojiro, just. Well, earphone jacket's going to be way easier to say that. So, basically, just before this Shoto freeze, everyone that trained with Deku basically jump because they sensed that Todoroki was going to do something, and basically the moment everything's frozen, they just see seven people just fly off, moving really fast. Everyone's like, what the hell happened to them? And All Might's like, shit. They're not even trying to hide that they trained with Deku. And basically, while they were flying, they went. The robot were coming up, and they basically just passed through them without punching. And then Izuku looked behind him and said, try to catch me. And basically, in a second, just kind of disappeared for them and arrived at the finish line. So, after that, it's Izuku first place, Bakugo second, Ida third, fourth is Ochako, fifth is Kirishima, sixth is Earphone Jack, and seventh is Momo. The eighth is Shoto, but after that everything's the same. Basically, someone asked them what the hell did they do, and basically they said we trained with him, pointing to Izuku, and said he explained to us how he controlled his energy, and basically that his quirk actually helps him control that, but anyone can do it. Which basically they tell it to um, uh, I just have Endeavor in my head, but Eraserhead, yeah. So basically, they tell Eraserhead that, and when someone goes to ask them, Aizawa basically on the mic says, "So, those kids literally trained with the guy for so long that they're able to use one of his techniques. It seems that it's what they actually do is thanks to him. His quirk basically helped him control something that everyone has, or that's what they told me. So All Might then pops up and says, "So all of you learned how to fly from him. That's good." Which everyone in the stand were like, "All Might? Wait, what does he mean by that?" And then he says, "So you're all trying to train with my nephew to get to try and get as strong as us?" And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Because basically, All Might, the entire 3 weeks, he was in there training on his own, like further in. Izuku knew it, and the other two, but they weren't bugging him because basically Izuku trained for 3 years and got like almost eight or well, basically now his base form is stronger than final form of Frieza, and he can do a 50 time multiplier on top of that going Super Saiyan. So, they go for the Kel battle, and this time, Ajiro and Ida with Kirishima goes to Bakugo and say, with all of us, we can win against them, and we can take as much as we want in the end. Well, they can take as much point as they want. Um, the others go for. Wait, I gave Momo, Ida, and Kirishima to Bakugo. So the other team is going to be Earphone Jack, Ochako, Izuku, and I'm going to say the last team member is going to be Tokoyami. So when it starts, Bakugo just basically says, "We're not going after Deku." And basically they just see, like they put Tokoyami on top of them, and basically they just see that team float up and basically be out of reach of anyone. And it's like, okay, yeah, no. And so Bakugo's team and Shoto's team basically go rack up points. And when it ends, well, it's Deku's team first, Bakugo's team second because of their speed, and third with just a shave of points that were left is Shoto's team. And yes, the zombie guy, well, brainwash guy, was able to do the same thing as in the original and just scrape by. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Um, so then for the battles, I'm going to change the order by a lot. First battle is going to be Todoroki versus Izuku. Second is Bakugo against Ochako. Third is Earphone Jack against Momo. After that, it's Ida versus Kirishima. And then Tokoyami versus the brainwashing guy. The other people in Shoto's team are going to be one against another. And so basically, Bakugo won. After that, it's Momo that won. After that, it's Kirishima. After that, it's Tokoyami. Because Dark Shadow was able to kind of. So, yeah, Dark Shadow basically, after Tokoyami got mind control, Dark Shadow was able to kind of bring him back in, and so pushed him out. Tetsu won his first round, and yeah. But for Izuku's battle with Shoto, basically Izuku was taking every hit that Shoto was sending to him. Then he told him, "You won't be able to beat me with just your ice side, you have to use the other side of your quirk. It's the only way for you to even try to beat me. I'm way too strong." So then he gave the same kind of speech as in the anime, and Shoto used his full strength. So fire side and ice side. Then when he goes for the attack that ended it in the anime, Izuku basically made kind of like a Kamehameha, but instead of that, it's basically just, it's called United States, no, Texas Beam or something like that. Like, he used kind of the same name as All Might for his moves, so after doing that, Shoto was out, and when Izuku went to help him get back up, he said to him, "If you want to train away from your father." Basically, everyone's hearing that because he's saying it like, no, his dad's hearing it with some other people because they are kind of on the wall. Izuku tells him, "If you want to train away from your father, with me and the others, you can come. You just have to call me and I'll come I'll bring you to where we train." So Shoto doesn't accept it right away, and Endeavor basically drops down and says, "So, you have a special place where you trained? I want to come with you." Which, um, Izuku basically tells him, "No, it's a special place that I found, and I only let All Might train there because he's my uncle." Which, after hearing that, Endeavor was like, "So you let a pro hero train in one place, but you won't help others?" Then Izuku basically says, "No, it's not that. It's only that I'm bringing only people that I trust. And I don't trust you. You are a hero, but are you really trying to only help people? Or are you doing that for your own win?" Which does make Endeavor angry a bit, and does help Shoto think he's holding back. He's going against my father. What the hell does he think he can do? Basically, then he just thinks, wait, All Might he told everyone that Izuku was stronger than him. And both of them keep getting stronger. What the hell's going to happen soon? So, basically, after hearing that, he basically looks at Izuku and says, if my father can never come to that place, I accept the train with you." Which his dad is angry at that, and then when he goes to grab Shoto, Bakugo basically grabs his hand and basically says, "You heard them. They don't want you there. Go back in the stands." So that moves on. Then the next battle after that is um, Izuku versus Bakugo. Other that are important, because basically gives a good battle, he gets beaten, and all the way up, the last one at the top is basically Kirishima, and when they start fighting, Izuku basically... Well, the only reason Kirishima would be able to beat Bakugo, but the only reason for that is because he can go unbreakable, which is stronger than the unbreakable in the anime, and he can stay like that for as long as he wants. So basically, even Bakugo's explosion do deal damage, but a single hit from Kirishima, well placed, will basically stop you for a really long amount of time. So yeah. So after that happens, well, the battle goes. They're trading blows, and suddenly Izuku basically says, "Okay, yeah, I think it's been long enough," and basically pushes Kirishima off the stage, well, of the arena. So yeah, after that happened, um, stuff happens. And basically it's first place Izuku, second place Kirishima, and third place I don't know. Well, third place is one of the other who already trained with Deku. So yeah. So when they go after that for the agencies stuff, Izuku doesn't go to the Gran Torino's agency because, well, he basically already knows Gran Torino. He was told about the other users, and so yeah. What he decides to do is basically All Might tells them that, well, basically All Might sends ask Izuku which people he wants to train with, which Izuku basically says, well, um, Bakugo, Ida, stuff like that. And then he said also Shoto and Tokoyami. So All Might basically sends one for each of them, an invitation. Ida says that his brother was attacked by the hero killer Stain. Um, I think I forgot to say, but there is a tower like Karen's tower with sensu beans, except that in this one there's like so many that you could practically give one to everyone on Earth every day for 2 years and there still be some. But that's only because for like thousands of years nobody ever went there. That's basically the only reason. So he basically was able to stack up on them. So basically, Deku came back with a sensu bean and told him to give that to his brother. And that they're going to go train for almost every day of it in the time chamber up until the day where they have to go do a patrol. So every everyone that got a recommendation, well, not recommendation, but were asked if they wanted to go with All Might, basically said, "Yeah, All Might." Shoto and Takayami too, because basically they were told to get there because they were going to go train a lot. So when the thing starts, basically everyone else looks at them and is like, "So all of you are going with All Might, but so how long are you? How much training do you hope to do?" Which Izuku basically says, a good amount, I should say. And so they go to do it. They go and leave, and All Might basically tells, well, um, Kami already knows that they're coming. So basically, when Shoto and Tokoyami ask where they are going and if they have to take a car, they're basically told, no, we're going to fly there, so grab on. And so Tokoyami basically grabs onto Izuku and Shoto grabs onto All Might. Well, more All Might grabbed Shoto before going, and Izuku grabbed um, Tokoyami. They go there with everyone, and basically Kami says, "So that's a lot of people now. When's when are you going to bring more people after that?" Which Izuku says, "Well, I'm trying to get more and more people to train them, but I'm trying to make sure that they're trustworthy, but trying to make them as far apart, just enough so that people don't think it's weird." So yeah, Endeavor did try to follow them, but literally wasn't even able to follow them in car because they basically went straight up for a while and then just went so fast in a direction that Endeavor wasn't able to do anything. So yeah, um, I think it's a week at the agency, and on the last day they were going for patrol. So they basically stay about 6 days, so 6 full years in the time chamber, training to achieve an amount of power that is basically uncanny. Basically, now Izuku was able to unlock Super Saiyan 2 and was able to train it so that he can basically keep it up needing without taking away stamina. Basically, just by doing training like that for like 2 or 3 years, only doing that, while the others were training with All Might. Tokoyami was learned how to use Ki, and basically that helps him control Dark Shadow. No, and since the room is completely white, Tokoyami and Dark Shadow basically train to be able to use him no matter where it is, and became extremely stronger. And even in complete darkness, now he would be able to control it perfectly, even in the form that we saw in the forest training arc. So that's basically because of the key. So now basically everyone is basically All Might level in the anime. Izuku is about, I would say, if the power level before the training with All Might started, well, before the sports festival was about 1,700,000. He's basically around like 3 or 4 million now. All Might basically passed from 500,000 to about 1.5 billion. And the others are basically now all stronger than All Might. Like Bakugo is around 2.2 times stronger than All Might in the anime. Everyone else is like or just above All Might level or at All Might level. Shoto is now able to create ice so cold and fire so hot that he can basically make it turn blue for his fire, and his ice is practically unbreakable by normal means. It is still breakable, but it's harder to break it. Sorry about that. So when they go for the patrol, they go in Hosu to try and find the hero killer, but there's a lot of Nomu attacking. Basically, Ida is told to go after the hero killer and to just stop him, which he does pretty easily. After that, they go after the Nomus, which each of those Nomus is about the strength of the original Nomu that we saw. So Endeavor is trying to fight back, and the only reason he's able to is because of his fire. Then, when the others arrive, they basically pummel them down, and then they see something weird. It is called Cell. It looks about the same as Cell, but it's already in a perfect form. But this is the moment where it's really going to go meh. Izuku is about as strong as, well, he is weaker than what Goku was fighting Cell. This Cell is a lot weaker. So, in the Super Saiyan 2, Deku is stronger than Cell. So he's able to beat him. But everyone else basically got their ass handed to them before that, because Deku was basically killing other Nomus before going to him, and All Might and the others were attacked by it. He didn't kill them because he wasn't able to, because basically when he was about to kill one of them, someone else basically came and hit him strong and hard enough, continuing like that over and over again, until Izuku's the one who came and basically just demolished him by grabbing him, putting him up, and basically condensing his ki to make a blast and throwing it in the sky. The problem in that move is that his glasses that I said he had to make sure that he doesn't see moon rays, he is capable of controlling his power, but basically when doing that, he was in Super Saiyan 2. He threw the attack, and basically his glasses fell off. He transformed into his Ozaru form, but because he was in Super Saiyan 2, which does give you a massive a massive rage to control, basically he lost control for a bit. The only reason he was stopped is because Shoto's ice, literally there were cameras that were looking at it, and they saw that the guy basically the being that attacked him hit him in the face before he threw the attack. They were told that, well, basically they knew about his parents, because, well, the press was told that he was the son of the Saiyan heroes. Sorry, I think I was a bit far from it. The press basically was told that he was the son of the Saiyan heroes and that he had every power they had and more. So practically everyone knew that him, if he sees the full moon, he transforms. So they're not surprised about that. What they're surprised about is that he's not in control. But Tokoyami, All Might, Bakugo, and everyone basically were able to kind of hold him off until, well, Tokoyami basically engulfed him in full darkness, which basically made it so that he went back to normal and then untransformed. And when he awakened, he was basically like, sorry, sorry, sorry. Basically, they already gave him back his glasses. So, yeah, after the agency, at first when Shoto went back with Endeavor, Endeavor was freaking mad because his son basically was All Might level now. Well, All Might level in the anime, which is way stronger than Endeavor. So he was mad as hell. So basically the only reason all of them are just All Might level is because they didn't just train their strength and stuff like that. They were basically training to use key attack. So yeah, after a certain point they just started doing for key attack. So they stopped getting stronger for a bit. And so they each have the same attack move. They can all do the ball to make Izuku transform for if there is need. And so yeah. Also they all trained a lot with their quirk using ki as well, so yeah. This was the Stain arc with Nomus and Cell. The thing is that Cell wasn't killed. He is merely retreated, which they sensed that he was going away, but he then hid. He went into hiding, completely masking his ki, so they cannot even try to find him. So yeah. This was part 4 of What If Deku was a Saiyan. Hope you liked it. Natsu